Hey guys, welcome back to Spirit Guide Tarot. So glad that you're here. I love spending time with you. So, as a reminder, here we do timeless readings, which means that these readings are not connected to any particular dates. And yeah, they are meant to find you when they find you. And these readings are also general. So there's going to be parts of these stories, these readings that resonate with you and parts that don't. So please leave the parts that don't resonate. Trust your heart, trust your intuition, and take the pieces and the parts that's helpful for you, right? And don't try to force a story to fit if it doesn't fit for you. Okay? Yeah. So before I hit record here, I was feeling into, okay, what message am I meant to bring through? And what I was getting was a feeling of, I'm talking to a group, a collective out there today who are struggling in this time with a little bit or a lot of it of feeling some fear. And particularly fear around resources. Money, possessions, a feeling of like safety in the world that maybe is a bit blocked, or maybe there's some circumstances like where you're living or your home life or just literally the ground under your feet feels uncomfortable in some way, and maybe you feel a bit stuck or a bit blocked. And in particular, a lot of this, I'm speaking to a lot of people who are having some money fears coming up, but that's not going to be all of you guys, but something around, I'm going to be delivering a message today with something around feeling kind of stuck and feeling kind of fearful with the gifts that we have in our life. So right away, I was getting this message of like, there's always gifts around us all the time. And if something is in our life, there is a gift in it. Right. And so, and you know, I love like partaking, receiving tarot readings on YouTube. Like, this is why, I'm inspired by it, but I get really frustrated sometimes with tarot readings that are just like promising you're going to be a millionaire soon, or these readings that like play into people's fears and obsessions with money. Really bugs me. I don't know. Anyway, so, but these kind of readings are popular and get lots of views because people, we have like these deep-seated fears around money and around resources. Like, do I have enough? Do I have enough? Do I have enough? It's like that question can go through our head a lot when we're, during different chapters of our life. And sometimes we feel like we can't move forward, like we're blocked, like we want to do things, but we don't have the money, or we don't have the time, the ability, the resources in the world, to like do the things we want to do. So we feel stuck, right? So if you've been feeling that way, I hear you. It's a really not fun place to be in. And, and I'm speaking to people at different levels of this. Maybe some of you guys are super anxious about this, sleepless nights. Some of you guys, it's just a little niggling annoyance because you've been working through all this and kind of for many years shedding all these fears. But yeah, if this video found you today, you're at some level going through a little bit or a lot of it of fear around this. So Temperance is telling me that balance comes when we are disciplined within ourself on a day-to-day basis. So for a lot of us who have begun the awakening journey, we're on that awakening path. We see the cosmic giggle. We see the cosmic giggle in existence itself. We know that right now, for some reason, I'm thinking of Alan Watts and his like sort of humorous approach to talking about the universe is like this cosmic giggle. We know, like our minds comprehend at this point, like that everything is a dream. Nothing is lasting. This comes and goes. We're souls reincarnating over, many lifetimes. And so like, there's a part of us that's just like, this whole thing is a joke. So who cares? Like, why, but then the problem with that can be, we get out of balance. And we don't have enough discipline in our lives on a day-to-day basis, right? So if we put structures in place on a day-to-day, and this could be as simple as I'm going to sit and meditate for 30 minutes every day. It doesn't have to be like a long list of things. It can just be like one thing that we do every day consistently without fail. We always show up for it. What does this do? This creates a certain level of balance and harmony in our life, which then allows us to feel safe in our bodies. If we feel safe in our bodies, 6:24 on the timer, we can more easily appreciate the gifts in our life. So I'm looking out the window right now, for example, and the sun's coming up. And the way that the rays are just like bouncing off the window pane, it's incredibly beautiful. But if I was in a scarcity mode, a victim mode, a hustle mode, I gotta hustle. I don't have enough. I gotta find more. I gotta find more. I gotta find more. I gotta find a solution right now. That mode, I wouldn't be able to notice this beautiful sunlight. So the key to starting to heal this fear that you've been feeling, this feeling of insufficiency or worry about the future, how am I going to make ends meet? How am I going to achieve these goals that I want? How am I going to make these desires happen that I'm trying to manifest, etc.? It all begins in the here and now. It all begins in gratitude in the here and now. And that's not the message that we want to necessarily hear. We want Anya to come on and be like, hey, you're going to win the lottery next week. And then they'll give us like that momentary boost of excitement and energy, right? But then that's like a drug that just wears off in a couple hours, right? Because the reality of our life is here and now with what we got. So we're healing this fear, these money fears, with gratitude in the present moment. And I just want to speak for a moment about money, okay? A new system is coming, my friends, and I will say that with 100% certainty, and I do not feel like this is a prediction. I feel like this is just obvious at this point. Now, whether this happens in 5 years from now, 5 minutes from now, 50 years from now, I do not know. I do not know that part of it. But what I do know is that humanity cannot continue the way that it's going in this current capitalistic system. It's just not going to happen. It can't happen. Things are going to change. And many of us have been working diligently to usher in new systems that have more fairness and equality. Yeah, so that is coming. But what do we do in the meantime? We still got to use money. We still, unless you are one of the unique ones who have been asked to cast off using the monetary system, which if you're doing that, you're probably not watching this video. Those people are awesome and I love them. I'm so grateful they were doing that work. You can find a lot of those people out there online if you do a little research. But for the rest of us, what do we do to heal this fear? This fear belongs in the mind. This fear is a mind-made fear, as all fears are. The way to win is to put down the sword of The sword cards in tarot represent the mind. And the Five of Swords is about just putting down the mind and giving the mind a little siesta, putting down our sword, saying, I don't want to fight this battle anymore. I don't want to fight this battle anymore. This battle has been draining my energy. So the battle of constantly worrying and thinking about money. Now here is the cool thing. And this is interesting because I've been getting this message for myself the past couple of days. And I'm so excited that Spirit is guiding me to share this with all of you, which is, and this is like the paradox, right? If we are experiencing a chapter in our lives where we do not have a lot of financial resources, or we're lacking other resources besides money, because there are other resources besides that. Resources can be relationships, trusted friendships. Family can be a resource. Family you can rely on. A safe home, that's a resource. There's lots of resources. So it's not just about money, but particularly I do want to speak to money here for a moment. If we're going through a chapter in our life where we have less dollars in our bank account, or less dollars coming in every month, we are on the advanced graduate level, PhD level path of spiritual evolution. Because it's very easy not to worry about money when you've got a lot of it happening for you. But what if we were able to learn how to not worry about money, even if we don't have a lot of it in our field at the time? Whoa. I'm reminded of that Bible verse that Christ said, and I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember exactly what he said, but something like, why are you so worried? Look at the lilies of the field. God clothes them. Look at the birds in the air. God feeds them. Do you not think God loves you too? So, and the first Reiki precept, just for today, do not worry. Well, that's easy not to worry when you're sitting in a mansion with helicopters at your disposal. Well, it's pretty easy to not worry about money. But what if you are being called to learn how to not worry about money and be in the present moment with gratitude without a lot of money? What would that look like? And I know you're saying like, Anya, I don't want to do that. That sucks. I need more money. Okay, I know. I hear you. I get it. But the universe always presents us with the lessons that our soul needs. Some of us are destined to have more money flowing in, that we learn to steward it properly. We learn to distribute it to those who need it, to use it wisely, utilize it wisely, to build projects and create beautiful things on this new earth with money. Yes, some of us are meant to learn the lesson of, how can I give up the fight, drop the sword? Just drop the sword. Drop the worry. And trust that I will be taken care of. I'll tell you a little story. So last summer, I was taken on a very interesting journey. It was kind of like a psychedelic journey, but without psychedelics. It was that intense. I was invited into like a total trust fall experiment with the universe, where I was abruptly compelled to choose to leave my home. I guess I could have stayed, but it would have been absolute hell. So it really didn't feel like actually a choice. But I did have a choice, but it was like the universe was like, you got to go. It was a tower moment. So I left my beloved home that I'd been in for 7 years. It was so lightning fast that I had to leave. My best friend and I were packing up my belongings in the middle of the night. Let's just put it that way, with what happened, with what went down. It was surreal. And then the next 7-8 months, I was on this journey of traveling from place to place, mostly in Ohio, living with Reiki students, friends, strangers sometimes, people I didn't really know. in exchange for, like as an energy exchange. So not giving or receiving money, but just sharing Reiki in exchange for a place to live. And wow. And I encountered along that journey some interesting characters, put it that way. Some people who had some unprocessed trauma. And maybe they had good intentions in their heart when they said, come live with me. But quickly in my presence, brought up, triggered some unhealed wounds. And then in a couple different scenarios, I was asked to leave really quickly for nothing that I had done wrong. It was their stuff, it was their stuff. So I was in these couple situations where, I didn't have a lot of money in my bank account. And that was by choice because I was in a different phase. I'm entering a new phase, by the way, where I'm learning to steward money coming in. But in that phase, I was more of like a sadhu, and I was just learning how to not worry about money. Anyway, I had this mantra that I was using as I was just being guided from place to place, really sometimes abruptly and without a lot of notice. The mantra that I was repeating to myself was something like it was, I have a place to sleep tonight, and I have food to eat today. That's all I need. And I would just repeat that over and over. I have a place to sleep tonight, and I have food to eat today. And that's all I need. Because that's how uncertain things were. Because I was literally surrendered to the universe, guiding me from place to place. And it was, I can honestly tell you guys, the hardest chapter of spiritual learning and growth that I've ever experienced. And I'm so grateful that it's done now. That's over. But wow. And so what that taught me was we have more than we think that we have, first of all. Just as like a side note, if you ever travel to some place like India, where you see a full family living in like a 10 by 10 structure, and they're considered middle class, you realize that here, in these modern worlds, these developed countries, like these places, like I'm here in Ohio, like I'm rich, but culture teaches me I'm not rich, but I am. But we are learning to be in the present moment with what we have and appreciating it. I have this tea. It's rose tea from Organic India, my favorite brand. No, they're not supporting me. I love them. It opens my heart chakra more. I've got this little microphone over here. I've got this little light. I've got this laptop. And I've got you, who I'm talking to. My friend. Hi. Across space and time. What cool. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we didn't have the technology to do this here thing on YouTube, right? So cool. How cool is that? So I'm going to leave you with these parting words here, and I hope you'll take them into your heart, which is, if you have $1 in your bank account right now, that is not a reflection of your worth. The system is rigged. The system sucks. If you want to, go ahead, Google Charles Eisenstein and sacred economics and see what pops up. You'll find more resources from him. He's been one of my teachers learning about this whole shift as capitalism slowly crumbles. And it will fully crumble. It's in the process of crumbling right now. But no, some of us are being called. Just for today, do not worry. That's the lesson. And you may be the most talented artist in the world, the most talented actress, the most talented mother. You win a gold star for being a mother. But you're maybe a single mother, living in a crappy apartment, wondering how you're going to buy groceries this month. And you're like, what did I do wrong? The heck did I do wrong? Am I being punished? What the heck? Right? And you're like frustrated. And I'm here to tell you, you've done nothing wrong. You are worthy, you are beautiful, you are amazing, and you have gifts to share with the world. And I ask you to take a deep breath with me. Okay? Take a deep breath here now. Breathe air into your heart chakra, right? Because our hearts get blocked when we feel like we're being punished or like the universe is against us, right? It's unfair, so our hearts get blocked. So breathe right into your heart. Imagine that you have a second nose. So you have a nose here, and then you have a nose here. Imagine that, okay? And breathe into right here with me. Breathe right in here. Do it again. You are worthy. You are good. You do good work in the world. And right now, your lesson just for today, do not worry. I love you so much. And I do hope that you're one of the people who receive more financial abundance very soon. But if you are not one of those people, I want you to take this message with you that it is not because you're being punished or you're a bad person or something is wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. It may be that that's your lesson to learn. Just for today, do not worry. And if we can gain the peace of mind, the strength of mind, not to worry about money in the face of not having a lot of it, and to still be a peaceful, loving, grounded, present person, we are the Buddha. We are the Buddha. We are the Christ. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you again in the next video very soon. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. I want to stay with you. Let's walk together. Namaste.